Was out here in the garden and decided why not do a garden tour. This is the first day of September, which is kind of crazy, and I probably have more flowers right now than I have vegetables. Maybe it's about equal, I don't know, but let's go check it out. So right out here we have morning glories. They are really taking over. I have this color. I have some right over there. They haven't bloomed yet, and then I have another one back there that you'll get to see in just a minute. But look at these beautiful hibiscus. I've got zinnias blooming. I've got, well, those aren't blooming. Those are purple violets, but they're done. Over here we have comfrey, which I have to cut back because it is growing crazy. I really need to dig some of this up and move it. All right, on to the raised beds. So my tomatoes really weren't doing too well, and then they just exploded. There was sugar snap peas on this, they died off, and now the tomatoes are going crazy. I love planting marigolds. These have really taken off. Now I had squash in here and got maybe a couple, and that's it, and then I planted more. So we're gonna see how these do. They're not growing as quickly as what I would like, but I guess we'll see. Do a little bit experimenting. I've got some purple basil back here, which I have already harvested once and made basil pesto, froze it, so we're gonna see how that tastes. As I always say, don't be afraid to try new things, try to experiment. I just put out things in the garden today, September 1st. I have tomato starts and I had stuff that I got started late and I put them out. So we'll see how they do. This one has gone crazy. The cucumbers are starting to die off, but I had cucumbers in the back on that kind of trellis there, which I won't do next year. And then there was tomatoes. I think there was zucchini in here or squash of some sort. It's gone now. The cucumbers are actually doing really well. I've gotten quite a bit of that. I usually make thunder and lightning, and that's what I have been doing and feeding 2 large ones to the chickens, but I haven't got too many tomatoes off of this. I believe these are Roma or paste tomatoes, and they haven't really done really well, but that could be my fault because of the cucumbers. On to the next bed. These are peppers, and I don't remember which ones they are. I bought these because my peppers did not start well, and I think these might be lunchbox in the front, and then maybe sweet bells or sweet peppers in the back. Got some chamomile that hasn't been getting a whole lot of sun, but I took out a pepper plant because I have squash planted back here, so we're gonna see how that works. I'm doing a second planting. This one is butternut squash, which really probably won't do anything because it has to have long enough for the skin to harden, so it probably won't do anything. And this is acorn squash. I don't remember when I planted these. Let's see, 723. So we'll see, maybe. This over here is just, you know, really bad. I water this and then it comes back and then it dies because it's in this pot, which was not a good idea. I should have just planted it in that. I don't know what I was thinking. That was a watermelon that voluntarily came up in another bed. I moved it and the chickens have eaten all the leaves. This is the other morning glory, which is actually not in this bed, but it's like shading it. It's going up over here. I'm hoping this isn't a pain to get off of everything once it dies off, but it's really going crazy. So I'm going to try to save some seeds from these because I really like them. And now that I know that they grow like that, I will put them on something to make it really pretty. There is a little bit of thyme under here. And then I did plant these. These are loofahs. They probably won't do anything because they came up really late. Green beans. I just got green beans off of these. I'm so excited. These just happened to come up. I planted a few. They came up late. So that's what I got. More marigolds. I always do well with these. I don't know what it is. They grow so well. I mean, it's literally taking up almost half of this bed. It's one plant. And I believe this is one that might have come up volunteer. I can't remember. Back here in the corner that's probably almost completely shaded because of the marigolds and this plant that came up. This is, I don't even remember what this is. It's some kind of little melon that I didn't really like. You can see one of them right back there. This one has wild yarrow. I got this plant out of the yard. This will be moved because it's taking up the whole bed and I need this for something else. On over here, I just put these cages in. These are tomatoes. The chickens were eating them. One of them probably won't make it back in the back. It's tiny. And we'll see. I don't know. They have blooms on them and we don't have frost until probably the middle or end of next month. So hopefully this will work. I don't know. I may have to cover them. We'll see. Over here is the crazy horseradish bed, which again, I think I'm going to move because, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put it somewhere else. We'll see. Another bed of tomatoes that I started and moved out here. I've caged them so the chickens would leave them alone. We're gonna see if we get anything off of them. I actually don't even remember what kind they are. I'm gonna say maybe cherries because those look like tiny little blooms. And some more thyme, which I love because it survives the winter. This one is the one I just planted. So of course you got a little marigold and a big marigold. This one I think was kind of crowded out by the cabbage and Brussels sprouts that were in here. And so I just planted 5 little bitty, which you can barely see it right there. There's one in the middle there. So I just planted these. My thought was if they don't do anything before it's gonna frost, I'm gonna just put cover over these hoops and I'll protect them from the frost, and then we'll see how long they go. I mean, I can usually have tomatoes until into October, so that gives me, 6-8 weeks, so we'll see. I don't know. And another crazy tomato bed. So this is my asparagus bed. I planted some kale in here. I harvested quite a bit of kale off of here, dried some, powdered it. There is some still in there, but it's got bugs on it. I'm just leaving it. And the asparagus is going to seed and flowering kind of like what it does. And the tomatoes are going crazy. I mean, they're climbing up over there. I don't know that tomatoes actually climb, but they are going everywhere and they've gotten really tall. And I believe these are, I don't know if these are cherries or I can't remember, or Abe Lincolns, but they don't get great big. They get about the size, I don't know, of a quarter, so they might be cherries. Some type of cherry tomato. Here is this other one that I believe has not bloomed yet, but it is kind of going crazy as well. One little plant, that's it. So if you look behind me, you're going to see nothing but weeds. I had all this planted last year and I just couldn't get it planted this year. I planted potatoes. I got some potatoes, not very many. I only planted what I had from last year. I had a sunflower come up volunteer. It's just, I've really had less time this year, it seems like. And so just my raised beds and what's out in the fruit orchard has really taken my time. So I definitely wouldn't live off of what I can grow right now. It's more just preserving what I can, growing what we like, and putting it up because I love thunder and lightning and pickles. So that's what I make, and I eat those almost every day. So I would like to have more tomatoes because I love putting up juice and things like that, but I may just have to buy some tomatoes if I'm going to put it up, or buy organic stuff that I want to use. Actually, my plan this year with this whole thing is to completely do it in raised beds of some sort. So I think I'm going to put a full trellis like row down the middle, and I'm going to grow all my squash, all my cucumbers. I have tried rotational stuff, and while that's great, I'm going to amend my soil in that, and I may rotate other stuff, but I'm going to amend that, and I'm just maybe switch it back and forth or something. But I think that's where anything that climbs is going to be, because last year it was so much better with my cucumbers on a cattle panel. I have cattle panels and hog panels, so I think that's what we're going to use. And then I'm going to slowly build some more raised beds like the ones I have over here and put them over here. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to do it like these. These are 3x6 beds, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm not sure the layout I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to draw it out on paper and we're going to see how it works. If you look over here, the other thing I plan on doing is the chicken coop is over here, and you'll notice all these weeds again. So last year they were in a run, and you can see this stake right here. Well, I'm pointing to it, but you probably can't tell, but it kind of looks like it's just in the middle of the garden for no reason, and you may not be able to see it because of the sun. But their run actually came out here, and it was the width of the chicken coop, and it came all the way down here on this side of the garden. And that kept them out of my garden, and I didn't have to put up all this hoops and all this netting and everything like that, which I don't like. So I think we're gonna do a run again because the dogs are chasing them. They're actually not laying eggs in the coop now, and I have like 15 chickens. I have no idea where their eggs are. So they're not earning their keep very well. So I'm going to probably put a run, but I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. We have this, where the wallopini was supposed to be. I don't know that that's gonna happen right there. So we're gonna probably kind of fence that in and give it for the chickens. This is the only blackberry bush I have right now because I took all the other one out. This is the one, I've actually had this one for many, many years. My father-in-law gave me a start. I planted it here and it's been here ever since. We actually mowed it down when our daughter had her wedding here, and as long as you keep it mowed, it doesn't come back up. But once you quit, I don't think you could get rid of blackberries unless you actually dug a hole in the ground or something and got rid of them. Here's the other chicken coop. They're all hiding back there in the shade. And these are not allowed out because the dog does chase them and kill them. So once we get that other run up, they're probably going to go in there. This is going to be dismantled. I'm going to use the cattle panels, and because there's 3 on here, and I'm going to make a different kind of mobile coop for the fields. It's much lighter. This one is really heavy. The caterpillar tunnel, that is still in the works. Lots of weeds. I have to work on that. I do mow down the center, which I'm actually going to have a bed in the center. I have stringed off beds on the side, but yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen again this fall. So I don't know, we'll see. So these are my rugoso roses. This is one of them. And this is supposed to be a bed of strawberries. You can see one is maybe still alive. I don't know, we'll see how they turn out. This was a blackberry bed, which I don't know what I was thinking. This is another one of those roses and another strawberry bed. This is where I had them originally. They did really well. Then the next year, they didn't do so well. Annabelle got in them, and I didn't mess with them until this year. Sometimes you just don't have time to do things, and they have to wait. So that's what's happening out here. These are fig trees. I've got a couple figs. I've got some lemon balm coming up, some blueberry bushes back there. I've got pears and apples, apricots. I don't really know what else is out here. I have it written down, but I couldn't tell you what tree is what right off the top of my head, except for 2 peach trees. I do know what those are, and I believe this is one of my pears. And this might be a pear too, right here. The bees. I need to check on the bees. I really need to check on the bees. And believe it or not, there is a flower in those weeds. It was a lily, came up, bloomed. That one's done, but these are beautiful. This is a hibiscus. I believe that I bought that I can use for tea, specifically. And aren't they beautiful? I don't know, they remind me of something tropical, I think. Yeah, I just love them. So I do have a lot more flowers around the house. I have lots of hibiscus where I had seeds and I planted them everywhere because I had a bunch come up and I just picked them out of the yard and moved them wherever I wanted them. So I have lots of those. I have lots of seeds I still have to plant for herbs. I have my golden seal that I planted. I have peonies coming next month. So I really need to have some kind of a plan, probably. That would probably be a good idea. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this really, really quick garden flower tour. And let me know what your favorite thing is to grow. Maybe what, where you put stuff, how you put stuff, whatever it is. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to be lovely lights today.